could be giving
Can
me an
you role play
objection.
Miguel with me?
Yeah, all right.
Okay.
So after we cover this, right, or these are the reasons. Then, so let's say, what scenario should we looking for? Like before the top 25 or
Before the
overcoming?
top 25, let's do that.
Are you familiar with real estate?
Right. So let's say we're about to take the top 25. So let me explain you, Tony, how our system works. Okay.
Okay.
I'm sure you're probably seeing people or businesses like real estate, insurance, mortgages.
Yeah.
So that system is called an agency. So a traditional agency, the way it works, there are basically two positions. Now, you could be the broker, or the person who runs the office, let's say like the owner, for example, um, or you could be an agent. Right? So if you're a broker, you can also make sales, help clients. No, in the past, you probably used to be an agent, but now as a broker, you earn 100% of that compensation, right? Now, as an agent working for the broker, for the agency, you're going to make a percentage of that total compensation. So let's say, for example, you are an agent at a 50%, and let's say the commission for that month is, let's say, $3,000. So if you're at 50%, you will earn 50% of 3,000. That's $1,500. So the question, Tony, is who makes the other $1,500, the other 50%? Where does it go?
Maybe to the company. Company keeps it.
Right? Goes to the broker, to
Okay.
the agency, right? But who did all the work?
Agent.
The agent did all the work, right? So the broker could have been maybe in Hawaii playing golf, at the office, at his house. But when his agent are helping clients, the agent makes money, but also the broker makes money. So my question to you, Tony, is if you could choose between being an agent or making money as a broker, who would you rather be?
Brokers looks more profitable.
Right? And if you're a broker, how many agents would you like to have?
As many as possible, I guess.
As many as possible, right? So because the broker earns what's called passive income, or in the agency model, it's called overrides.
Okay.
So because, like I said, if you're a broker and you are, let's say, playing golf, and I was working for your agency, I'm helping clients, I'm making money, helping my clients, but you're also making the difference, that passive income.
Oh,
So brokers can make passive income, agents can only sell and earn commissions. It's called active. Okay. So again, how many agents you like to have? As many as possible, right?
Yeah, that's what I said.
This is a great system. The challenge here is that the only one that can recruit agents and earn passive income is the broker. Agents cannot do that. Agents can only sell. So let's say if you go to work for companies like, I don't know, let's say State Farm, Allstate, like those kind of companies, Long and Foster, you can only sell. You cannot become a broker. Now, the difference with our system, and that's actually the big opportunity here, we're the same. We're an agency. So we have a broker, we call it RVP, Regional Vice President. And, the RVP has agents. But the beauty here is that you as an agent, you can recruit and train multiple agents. And you can also earn passive income, just like a broker. And you can even become a broker. Okay. So for example, let's say you build a team and then you become an agent at a 70% contract, and you have a team of agents at a 50% contract. So if you're at 50, if you're at 70 and agents are at 50, that'll be a difference of 20%, right?
Correct.
So every time your agents help a client, they earn their 50%. Company pays you that 20% difference. right? And you're not even a broker. You're still an agent. So here, as an agent, you can earn as much passive income, depending, of course, how many agents you have and the production that they make. Because in our business, for example, the more money your agents do, the more money you do. So it's kind of like a win-win situation. That's why you have a lot of support here to helping you to become productive, get your license, understand the business. Because the more money your agents make, the more money you make. Does that make sense?
Makes sense.
So the goal here is to have as many agents as possible, and we're gonna help you build a team for you to do that. And those who become good trainers eventually can become brokers, right? That's if you want to. So you have that opportunity as well. So here is not like a traditional agency where you can only be an agent. No, here you could also become a broker. Right? So in my example, I started part-time, and then I stayed part-time probably maybe a year or so, year and a half. And by the second year, I qualified to become a broker. I focused on building a team and then became a broker. So everybody has the same opportunity. You don't have to, you can still remain as an agent, just help clients. But if you wish to earn passive income, right, you can build a team. Right, Tony?
I got it, man. That's good.
Any questions so far? Let's say you are a trainee.
So you're gonna help me. Where would I find the people? The people that you're gonna help me? Where am I gonna find these people?
And that's something very simple. The way I started when I began the business is I started with the people that I knew, friends, family. And the idea was not to recruit them or try to sell them something, simply to ask them, hey, do you happen to know somebody that can benefit from what we do as a company, or maybe is looking for maybe part-time work, right? So what I'm gonna do is help you make a list of contacts just to see if we can get referrals. Fair enough?
Okay. Fair. Okay, I can do that.
So by doing this, kind of like I open their mind and get them a little bit, ambitious of, making passive income and building a team. So for a trainee, that's all I do. But then you can even continue if you have already licensed agents, maybe somebody who wants to become a regional, where now you can explain, once you become a broker, then you can help other people, help your agents become brokers. So now the difference here is now you're not overriding agents, now you're overriding offices, right? And some offices are going to be small size, some are going to be big size, medium size. So the better your agencies or your brokers do, the better you will do. And we have an example in our hierarchy, for example, Christian David, where he has about over nine brokers. And we also have Bruce Koch, right? He makes 1.5 million. So it's a big, we call it hierarchy, right? Big organization of agents. So a lot of people don't understand our business model. And sometimes when we don't explain this before, they'll see, oh, you guys recruit, you guys probably are like Mary Kay or like Amway. It's kind of like a pyramid. No, we're just like an agency, like a regular agency. The only difference is here, the agents here can override agents, not only the broker.
Now I get this. Okay.
So that's my broker agent explanation.
Presentation.
So now you can do it before any of these processes. That way you can kind of sell the idea and then making like I wanna have a big team. So that's why you always ask. So if you are a broker, how many agents would you like to have? And let them tell you.
As many as possible. Yeah, right. That's a good question.
So
can you send these slides on a Telegram? I like these slides, man. I would love to see those.
I agree.
Post these slides.
Really nice. Did you make these, or were these a Primerica presentation?
No, he made these.
I made them.
Yeah, this is good.
Yeah,
Mine looks
this
kind of
is
like
good
this,
and
but
very
yours is
simple.
better
Good
than mine.
job. Yeah, I
It's
like to have
beautiful.
that.
I want to show something just for the recording purpose real quick
Mm-hmm.
because we were talking about Christian. So I think that it's important to have this on here to kind of put real people, you know what I'm saying? Like this is actually how a hierarchy can look, and it's very similar to what yours was, but I just think that it's important to
That's good.
show, like this is it. And I don't show this very often, but at the end when I'm talking to somebody, I might, if they really understand after broker agent, it's like, look here, let me show you that I'm not just making this up. This is a real thing, and you're able to build a hierarchy, as Miguel put it, or an organization, and it's just people working and everybody works. So I think that was important. But man, great slides. I love it. I think they're incredible. That's
Yeah.
a really good job.
The idea is to sell in the dream, right? That's when my first time I saw broker agent was, I don't know if your age remember, went to a fast start school in Woodbridge, and Brett Burks was the speaker,
Uh-huh.
and I was in the business probably, I don't know, a couple months, just kind of like goofing around, maybe a couple weeks, I don't know, a month or so, that range. But after I saw it, then I said, oh man, now I understand it. It makes sense now. So okay, do this, do that, or so it kind of like
Makes it,
clarify everything.
yeah, it makes you, but you got to be a real business person to understand that.
Yeah, yeah,
That's right. That's right.
Yeah,
One of the things that when I explain broker agent, I usually explain it when I'm sitting with somebody like Miguel who has a real estate background.
mm-hmm.
I talk about the positives and the negatives of being in real estate. And I always talk about that. The positive is, you have really unlimited income based on the amount of time you put into the market to develop clients. The negative is all the good agents usually want to be brokers. So really, really good agents leave, right? They don't stay. They leave because they want their own thing. And so what we've done is we fixed that. So that allows us to work directly with Miguel and help him become a broker because what happens is Primerica is going to, I don't call it overrides. They're going to pay us a royalty. Most people understand that. So the better Miguel does, our corporate company is going to pay me royalties for his success. So the better Miguel does, the better I do. Does that make sense, Miguel? And so you have the same opportunity. So the company what it's done, it's grown, it grows within the firm. And most people, if you come in and you're fully licensed and you were a broker somewhere else, they're not going to promote you right to the top. You're going to have to earn it. You have to learn our system. So that's why we have this in place. Like Miguel said, I always say, you don't have to be a broker. I didn't want to be a broker for the first 4 years of my life in here because I couldn't stand people being so weak and mealy mousy, making. So I really never recruited anybody. I just became a salesperson. But when I found out, man, I could be a broker and I'm getting on a plane here in about an hour and a half. I'm going to Chicago. I'm still going to work, in Chicago. I'm going to visit a couple of our reps up there, but I still get to work. I was on vacation in Puerto Rico and I still did my job and I still, with my sand between my toes, brokers have the real freedom that most people are looking for. So that's a good job, Miguel.
Really nice job. Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, sell
And
the
there's
idea that you don't need to be a broker to override agents to make passive income. So
Yeah.
that's what they need
Correct.
to get,
That's the key point. Yep.
and that you're gonna help those whoever they bring. No, you're still gonna train those, but they're gonna be for them. Right?
mm-hmm.
So now you're gonna make it. So do you want to have somebody like very motivated in your team? So who comes to mind, right? Do you know anybody who likes teaching, who likes selling? So now you kind of make him a little bit hungrier to come up with some good contacts, right? So,
Miguel,
yes, sir.
the piece that Ace just added, I always add into mine when I explain it. But from your perspective, already being a broker and a different from a mortgage level, you understand the fact of what he just said is a big piece, meaning that in this broker agency, you have people that you can get to be a broker and benefit from. Whereas in your former role, that wasn't the case, right? Because if they became a broker, you wouldn't be able to get any royalties, right?
Right, and that's why I compare it with the traditional agency with our system. You know,
Right.
our system, the beauty is that here you could become an agent if you want to, and you don't need to be a broker to override agents. But in a traditional system, that you cannot do that.
You got to be a
Um,
broker to get an override in the traditional system.
yeah,
Yeah.
if you go to work for Long and Foster, or let's say, I don't know, Allstate.
Yeah, you can't get an override as an agent. You got to be a broker first. Here you can get it. I think it's also important to note that you want your people to be as big as possible. Like you can start and you can be bigger than your broker, and that's okay here.
Yeah,
Right.
and also in being a broker, like in real estate, there's always competition because, like Ace says, agents want to become brokers and they just leave, so they become
Yep,
the competition.
that's
But in
right.
America, there's no competition because Christian had the office and there was 5 of brokers there. You know, everybody had their own client. There's no this competition thing, so that's the beauty of it.
You can
Because
also
America
use it.
offices everywhere.
You can also use it when they come up with the objection. Say, oh, but no, you guys are captive. Right?
Yeah,
They put as something negative. Well, when you show them, right? Okay, here, you know, everybody has the same opportunity. So since they're not going to leave, you want to have a team of captive agents with you, and you know that's the whole idea. So, any other thoughts? I put this also on a PDF, kind of like the bullet points of the process for each slide. So I'll put that in as well. So maybe next time somebody else can practice.
I think this is a
Basically,
hard one to script. This one is you got to understand this to be able to. This one's hard to just read.
yeah.
You got to be
So kind of like, it'll go a long way. Like so, in a traditional agency, whether real estate, insurance, mortgage, investments, there's basically 2 positions. You can be broker or you could be an agent. When a broker makes a sale, the broker makes all the compensation, 100%. When an agent makes a sale, the agent makes a percentage of the compensation, and the difference goes to the broker. For example, out of 3,000, if the agent got a 50%, the agent will earn 1,500. So if the agent earns 1,500, so here's the, you got to ask this question, right? Maybe we can highlight it or something. So if the agent makes 1,500 out of the 3,000, who makes the difference? So let them tell you, oh, the broker. Right? So, and then you gotta ask him. I don't know if I put here. You gotta add that because I also ask, but who did all the work? Not the agent. So then, if you could choose between being an agent or being a broker, who would you rather be? Then they will have to tell you by logic, right? Oh, the broker. And then your next question is going to be, and if you were a broker, how many agents would you like to have? Or as many as possible. Right? But you want them to say as many as possible. If they say 3, 5, no, they didn't get it. Right? Or you see that they're not that motivated about business. But if they say, oh, as many as possible, right? Yeah.
It's a great point, Miguel. Great point.
Mm-hmm. So your questions are going to be key for them to understand it. And once they get it, they say, oh, okay, boom, take it from there. So it's simple. So I'll see if I can transcribe it better here and put it on the chat. See. So I don't know if anybody wants to take a shot or maybe share more ideas.
That's good stuff, Miguel. That's good
Yeah,
stuff. I
really
mean,
nice.
I love, and it solves, this whole problem of leads, because that's the number one question that I get. Well, how do we get our clients? How do we get our leads? And so we use that broker agent to solve that, to say, hey, let me show you exactly how that works. And then, And I use a restaurant example, you know. So that's good stuff, Miguel.
Right.
I trained you well, man.
Yeah, thank you, man. And you got to be able to do this on a napkin, right? You can do a circle here, put their broker, and then agents 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 3, whatever. And then you explain, okay, brokers are 100%, agents have a percentage out of that total. And when an agent makes a sale, let's say if it's a 50% contract, boom, then the difference goes to the broker. So you got to do this also on a piece of paper by hand, right? Because you could be probably, I don't know, at a cookout, at a bar, at a restaurant with somebody, and you don't have a presentation, right? So you got to do it on a piece of paper and then explain it that way. So I don't know, what else can we add to these concepts?
I don't think you need to add anything. I think these slides are great. I think you did a great job explaining it. And I like your very last page where it shows the whole organization being built. I think that's important to expand the vision. Yeah, that page there. I think that for the right person, this destroys the pyramid idea if you understand business. Or you're going to just be an idiot and be like, oh, yeah, see, it's a pyramid. Right?
Yeah. And here you can now you can paint the picture. Matt, you're gonna hear in the company there are people that are making, $1 million, $3 million, whatever, $8 million in some cases. And the reason they do that is because they focus on this. They focus on finding leaders and then helping them develop their own offices. And once you find those people, then there's no limit how much money you can make. So now
they say you're one recruit away from an explosion.
Yeah.
Right. And that's actually true. Like, imagine if you recruited the guy at the top right here of this page. Like you recruit somebody that builds this organization and then you get to just override everything they did. How about that?
Yeah. If you recruit a Christian David or Bruce Koch.
Yep. And stick around.
Right.
Imagine if those people that recruited them would have stuck around. How mad would you be if you found out, be so sad.
Virginia Carter, she hired Bill Orender.
Yeah. So, yeah, like if you're talking to a realtor, somebody who understands the agency model, they'll catch it, right away. That's what when I saw this, I said, I used to be in mortgages, because when I was in mortgages, I started as a loan officer. Then they made me a manager, and then I saw, man, the brokers. I'm doing all the managing of these agents, training, but the broker is not even here most of the time, and so then boom, I wanted to become a broker. So I got my licenses, permits, whatever, and then I became a broker, but I had to leave that office. I couldn't do it with my broker. So that's a challenge. In this system, you lose your best.
So you actually became competition to your broker.
Yeah.
Wow.
And with everything that he taught me, man.
Did y'all stay friends?
Oh yeah. Because I wasn't the only one. A whole bunch of people became brokers around that time. So that's
that's a normal transition, though, right? I mean, if you're really good at what you do, at some point you want to elevate, right? For somebody that's a business-minded person, this concept makes total sense. But somebody that's a employee, they may not get this right away. It may take a couple of times to kind of really get it through their head.
It would take having a job for a long time and actually seeing it in real life.
Correct.
That's why lots of people that are young can't understand this.
And on the traditional model, you got to also let them know that you will lose your best talent, no matter what business you're in.
Yep.
So let's say, the challenge here, Matt, is that in this traditional model, you will lose your best talent. So
They'll
not
leave to
just in
be a
the agency
broker.
model. Let's say you could have a restaurant
Yep.
where you have
Yep.
a new guy which you train from a baby to become a manager in your restaurant, and then one day that person is gonna say, I want my own restaurant.
That's exactly
And
right.
he's gonna leave with all the knowledge that you gave him.
Yep.
That's
Same
right.
thing in a
In any
construction
business.
company or in any business.
Yeah.
But in our system, even if I help you become a broker, there's a compensation attached that for each broker that I help develop, I still get passive income.
And the cool part about it
helping
is
you.
that you never take, like, no one has to pay you anything. You never have to pay your broker anything. They just have a better contract than you.
Right.
And the way that the contracts are built in is that you'll always get the precision. You'll always make whatever your contract is. You'll never get screwed out of any money, and you'll never have to pay anyone anything. Your goal is always just to get a better contract until you become a broker. Then it's to find as many brokers as possible. Right. And make
Hey,
sure
Miguel, can I ask you a question?
Yes, sir.
On a broker agent, when you said in a mortgage business, question one, how long does it take for a loan officer to become a broker? What are the requirements on any agency of in a mortgage business?
I'm not familiar now what were the requirements back then. Well, it was 15 years ago, I think. Just got to go to the state, pay some fees, get some registration. I know for real estate now, you got to be a minimum of 3 years as an agent. That's in real estate to get a broker license.
Okay.
I don't know if mortgage probably should be around the same because they have a lot of regulations now. But back in the days when I used to be in mortgages, it was like there was not even a license required. That came like later on.
On a compensation side, how the broker gets paid and how much the loan officer paid. Let's say what percentage do they get? I know it goes on a points and all that, but on an average.
Yeah, back then as a manager, I think a 60% contract, and
60% of the what?
Of 100%.
60% of 100%.
So let's say a $300,000 loan, and they charge, let's say, 2 points.
$18,000.
No, 2 points is 1% is 3,000. 2 points will be 6,000.
You said 60% of 100, right?
No, of the commission.
Oh, okay.
So the commission is going to be based on the points, right? So let's say the loan is 300,000. 1 point will be 3,000. 2 points will be 6,000. So out of the 6,000, if you're at 50%,
you get
3,000. The agent will make 3,000. Okay. The manager will make 10%, and the broker makes the difference. Yeah. So when I saw that, I said, man, I'm doing all the work. I better become a broker myself. So I did that. And but it didn't last too long, only like a year and a half, because then the market crashed. So also here, when you're talking to somebody, let's say maybe who's a broker or has experience, is that in our system, you as a broker, you're responsible only for your overheads, your office. You can have 9 brokers, 10, 15, 20. Each broker is independently responsible for their overheads. When I was in real estate or mortgages, and that's what killed a lot of brokers on the 2008, is because when you are expanding, then you are opening, let's say, an office in Silver Spring, an office in Rockville, an office here and there. You are responsible to pay all those rents, all those overheads. And when the market crashed, people couldn't continue paying those rents, and that's when everything exploded. So here we have less overhead than a regular agency. So that's another thing that you can bring up, to somebody who may understand more of the business side, which is a great thing. You can have as many brokers, or you can have as many agents. It doesn't cost you anything. You can have 3 agents, or you can have 30 agents, or you can have 300 agents. doesn't cost you anything more because each agent pays themselves from the production that they do. So again, how many agents would you like to have, Prince?
As many as possible.
Possible, right? So
Absolutely.
when I started, I started with people that I knew, friends, family. So the goal is simply to share this information share what we do with those contacts, and ask them, hey, do you happen to know anybody? And sometimes they themselves are going to become interested, but
That's right.
if they're not, it's okay. Our goal is simply to share this information with as many people, and some will and some won't, but let's see. So who comes to mind, right? And then boom, I go to my top 25.
And Miguel made a great point, Prince. Because when I actually helped Miguel move out of his office was right there on Research Boulevard in Gaithersburg. And all the stuff, it's crazy, because if you have your own brokerage, you have to take care of the whole payroll, paychecks, the taxes. Most of them are 1099, but you still have to do that. And then you pay for the printer, copier. And now with the model that I have right now in our office, and Tony has, is we pay for a shared office space. However, we get 8 conference rooms that we don't pay for. One of them fits 75 people. We with the new model, it's 2 copiers are included, unlimited. No insurance. That's the other thing that most of you guys that don't have an office, you have to pay for insurance. What is it called? Liability. I had to pay for liability, all that stuff. Now that's gone. So so the office that I had on Russell, including everything, I paid $4,000 a month. And now with the new model, it's 2. And then how much money I'm saving on the internet and paper, and so like the news, the way business is done today, it's incredible. That's the other thing that most of these guys, they have to learn this stuff early on. See, it was easy for Miguel because he already lived it. But most of these guys, hey, I want to go RVP, but they don't understand the expenses that come by running an effective office.
Yeah, expenses.
Gordon, myself, I had an office since I was a regional leader. So I was already, when I went to RVP, there was no shock. I already pay rent, my own rent and stuff like that. So that's what we need, man. We need ambitious, A personality, also salespeople, people that really, really understand this aspect of the world. So it was easy for Miguel and some of the other RVPs that we have in our organization. I would say, Miguel, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think all of them had either a sales background, either mortgage or real estate, right? The only person that didn't have a background in sales was Matilda, but everybody else did, right, Miguel?
Yeah, I brought how do you call people, realtors, loan officers, and that's why all these we had a lot of production because there were people already motivated. They knew how to work commissions. They were afraid of talking to people. So, and that's what I'm trying to find more now: realtors or loan officers. So that's what the goal. So I did this also for my top 25. So here's an example, right? Get the name and number, and then qualify them. I got the steam here, and then the macho. So after you get the name and number, qualify. Okay. And does Mary Jones? What does she? How do you know her? What does she look like? Oh, she's enthusiastic and motivated. Okay, so I put EM. How about Carlos? Oh, he has everything. Then I put all. And then, okay, is Mary Jones single? Has a spouse? Okay, has a spouse. How old is she? 30. How many kids? 2. Is she a homeowner? No. Does she have a job? Yes. Well, she related to you? Yeah, cousin. What does she do? Supervisor. Where is she located at? Silver Spring. So work on that top 25 as much as you can. The way I work it is first name and number. As many as come out to their head. and then qualify them. Don't try to do name, number, and qualify all of them, because sometimes you run out of time. So
That's right.
You want to focus on the names and number first, and then qualify as many as you can. You can always continue later on the qualification, but
Miguel, can you share a blank of this from the?
I was going to ask the
Yeah.
same thing.
Yeah, I have
Yeah,
it.
'cause you steam and you master. That's great.
Mhm. All right, hopefully that helps.
This was great.
Go hunt some
This
big
was great.
fish, and let's make it happen.